Hello, people, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are on the same series, building off our frameworks of the priority pyramid. We have a couple of videos that have been up, is up in the playlist, and the last one would be linked here. In that video, we looked about alignment and how your goal is alignment. To get the most of your time, to get to your most creative self, to prioritize the right things, you always have to realign with the right future, the right people, the right things that you love. You just have to align. Your goal is to align. And through this series, I've gotten a couple of questions offline, if very few in the comments. If you're just joining, you have questions, please ask in the comments and let's get engaged. And what we're looking at in this video is how to maximize and make more money. We had a video about avoiding the money trap, which is trying to think about money in isolation. And the video is also going to be linked right there. You can watch it to have the context of the mindset we're using to approach money making through this course. And now we're going to just look at how you can make money, more money today. The ideal version we spoke about would be to spend more time on things you love, but most of the time we're already in a system where we are working towards someone else's future, and we are in a system where we have to earn money from just getting a job or being in some form of production system where we're earning from someone else's money making scheme. So the thing about it is, how do you structure out to make more money from where you are today, from where we are today, because I'm in the process of making more money, and that's what we're going to look at today. The first word we're going to look at is automation. And what is automation? You would find that everything in technology is working on automation. The whole system of how we have the internet, tech companies, the whole boom of people making more money is literally based off of automation. What does automation do? It still builds off of this principle where we're talking about on maximizing time. It's that if it was going to take me 10 days to make a comic, and I could sell that comic to 100 people, but it was going to take me another 100 days to sell to 100 people, I would have to reach one person a day. What automation would do is that I could make it faster with digital tools, and when I make it, I can replicate it more, and then I can sell it online, which would give me more money, because along the process, I would automate something. So most people who are creating something or in a job, you probably aren't automating something. You are the automation if you're in a job. You are the system that enables the person to outsource some part of what they're doing, and they get to make a profit off of where you are in the system. So to think about what to do, you have to ask yourself, what can I automate? What is the one thing that you can do that can put you in a situation where you can automate something? So what can I automate? Now, this, I'm not giving on this video specific things. I'm just giving the overview of the framework because it looks very different for everyone. In the general seasons, we are in a good season because we're in a general season of AI, and AI is disrupting a lot of things, how big companies work, because of the level of increase of automation of almost every industry. It will take less people to do things, which means as an individual or a smaller group of people, you can automate a lot more and maximize that to make a lot of money. Now, whether to use AI, not use AI, the ethics around it, very different case. But we're just going to ask, first of all, what can I automate? The question here is very important because it is unique to you. And it's not just about what you're doing in particular, it's how you do it. I think that's very important that we have to pick here. It's not just what you do, it's the how. The how is very important. So you could pick anything. You could write a book. You could publish a movie. You could be an artist, sing a song. But it's how well you can automate whatever it is that you pick, and maximize that automation to increase it. Now, the specific thing you do, there are different ranges of what makes a good business, the price points, the target customers, cost of production, all that stuff. But you have to be able to answer what is the one thing that I can automate. Now, in terms of framework, what you're also trying to do is time. When I say what exactly is the thing that helps people and what affects your priority, what we've been talking through this course is the urgency factor. This is the key. What exactly makes you do what you're doing today is what you interpret to be the most urgent. So whether you're selling a product, whether you start a business, whether it's this course that I have, for example, and I'm trying to get more people to watch it, increase the value, is in what way can you make that urgent to people? And how many people can you make that urgent to? So if you're going to sell a book, for example, the book might be nice. You might have written it. It might have like a lot of, let's say you pick something fantasy. You might have such a rich world, rich characters, packed with a lot of lessons. But how do you get someone to buy it? It's the urgency. And what you have to do to make money is to be able to design an urgent system. Design an urgent system. So where does designing an urgent system start out? It starts out with being able to design a frequency. What do I mean? Frequent. It's hard to like write and talk at the same time. To be able to design a frequency. What do I mean by designing a frequency? If you see any system you buy into and you go to make money, there's always a frequency to it. If you have, let's say your job, most of the time you have to resume at a specific time, a specific hour. Let's say something like church, for example. I mean, church doesn't like make money, but there's a frequency to it. You're in church every Sunday, and it's easy to say, oh, on this Sunday, bring an offering. There's usually a frequency. The people who start to shape people's time and then can attract something about money from them, they first of all start with being able to tap into a frequency. What does that frequency mean? If you look at things that is happening socially right now with our most of our applications that we're using, they are billing us on a frequency monthly, because they've been able to get our attention periodically. Take something for Netflix, for instance, they would put the top shows and say, oh, this is coming out on so day, so you have to watch it because you're looking forward to watching it and then watching the next show and you want to binge watch the next show. You have a frequency where you go there, and in that system, they can now put a certain level of urgency on system to say, pay before the end of the month. Otherwise, you're going to get cut off from the whole system. And then in that system, they can then attract your money. It's in almost everything. If you look at a platform, let's take LinkedIn, for example, they are a system, they're giving you value. But then that's why almost every application would ask you, can we send notifications? Because they're prompting your urgency system. They're trying to say, how much can you come back to the app? They give you a notification, oh, this person said this, so you come back. And then when you have a frequency to that system, they then say, oh, you need to use this system to be able to see more of this, to be able to know who came to your profile, to be able to get a job. They tie whatever it is to say, now can you give us money? So this is the whole system. And again, like I said, in terms of what it would look like practically, it will look different for every individual. So you can ask more specific questions, and I can throw more light on this in specific industries. But this is the framework of everything. The last part would be being very mindful that it always still goes back into the future. It still goes back into the future. So someone says, oh, I want to start a business on cooking. How do I sell my food? yeah, you have money, you want to make money from that, but the question is, why would a person who has that money give it to you? First of all, the natural cadence is that we all have to eat. So that is already something that has to do with everyone's time. And then there's an urgency on why they have to eat. But then what type of food are you selling? Is it going to be food based off of survival? And if it is, that means that they'll be able to eat it frequently. Is it going to be something that has to do with like taste? What are you going to appeal to? Is this something that's going to do to their health? If it's their health, you can get to say, oh, it's something you have to do to stay healthy so you have a better future, and you sell that future. If it's something on a frequency, it's like, yeah, you don't want to die, so you have to eat. So it's like, yeah, this is my food. And then you now have to schedule yourself to say, instead of cooking yourself, I can cook for you. And then you free up your time so that you can use that your future or your time to do whatever else is important to that person. But you have to be able to tie whatever it is you're selling into an ideal future. So what I'm doing here, for example, is that I'm trying to design a thinking process that could help people to be able to understand themselves better and design a more ideal future. And in doing that, if I could create a system where I could repeatedly tell people, oh, these are the things that could help you think better, and people come back, I then create a system where I could ask for some form of revenue, sell some course, do some consultations, and then in that system, I make more money. The idea is to ultimately do something that's valuable to people and then valuable to society. So you don't get trapped in the money cycle of just trying to get money, cheat people, do things and attract people and keep them oppressed and subjugated just to make money. So this is the overview. And I know like there are going to be a few more questions and a couple of things, but this is just like where the thought process is and how we can maximize the pyramid. And always just remembering that your time is all that you have, is what matters. Thank you so much for spending time with me on this thing, and we'll stay tuned for more courses. I'm breaking this down in like the other aspects of things that I'm thinking on, working on, and I'll be referring to this. And if more things come up from the questions or as I'm creating and I'm developing, I would develop this framework more and put subsequent videos. So thank you so much and see you on the next video.